You want to get to I think we learned a lot in this playoffs, like
Oh,
overall
definitely.
football wise, and let's talk about it.
The passing game for one, that is the number one thing. There's not a quarterback here, arguably to get in the championship, except for Jimmy Garoppolo, that
Is an
really
elite.
isn't just elite baller out here. Like
Yeah. Like
that's
three
the
to four
thing.
hundred yards a game, just airing it out.
The last team I think to win a Super Bowl with a subpar quarterback was probably the Eagles with Nick Foles.
Or the
Uh,
Ravens with Joe Flacco. Even though that playoff run, I actually went back and kind of looked at it, the stats wise. When the
all right,
Ravens
Joe
won,
Flacco was a baller
dude,
at that
he
time.
was a stud in those playoffs. So I mean, he got his ring, but he kind of fell off after that. But yeah, I think the Nick Foles one
If
is a
I'm
good one.
right, he had some crazy receivers too, like Jacoby Jones and stuff like that.
When you
But
get a chance, go back and look at that Ravens playoff run. Joe Flacco made some fucking plays.
uh, basically elite talents, your playmaker, your skill positions. These people are going to be crucial. I mean,
And
these
what we
running
mean by
backs
that
that
is quarterback, receiver, and honestly tight end. I mean, look who is playing in these games, and look who's not.
the skill positions right now in this, like in the teams that were left in these last four, obviously, like there's wide receivers that you see that have names. It's not just, oh, who's that guy? You know what I mean? There's Debo Samuels. There's Cooper Cup, the best wide receiver in the
Odell,
league. Look where
Tyreek
he's
Hill,
at.
Jamar
Odell,
Chase, T.
Tyreek.
Higgins, Travis Kelsey, tight
That's
ends too.
wild.
We're talking about tight ends here too, not just receivers and quarterbacks. And then on the other side, a crazy stat from this playoffs is that not a single running back has rushed for 100 yards in the playoffs.
That's actually kind of
Was that
crazy.
what does that tell you? Like, not saying that because Joe Mixon is a baller. Derrick Henry played in a game, but it's when I think when the playoffs are going on, especially when you get to the divisional championship and the Super Bowl, you need the quarterbacks, you need the receivers, you need the
I think
absolute playmakers to go out there. Like, yeah, Jonathan Taylor smacking in a Super Bowl or championship will be cool, but like, does he get you to those moments? You know what I'm saying?
the real reason that I think there's not a lot of like rushing yards is because, um, definitely because these games are very close, and you're like, for example, in the game you're down by when you're down by three, you're not running the ball very much at the end of the game. Things like that. I understand that people like Jonathan Taylor are having 100 yards at halftime, but like a lot of these games, especially knowing it's Mahomes and Josh Allen, these players are like coming into the playoffs. These people are throwing a lot, so I don't think that has too much to do
But
with
that
it.
proves
But
my
still,
point, though. Like in these close games, you're not relying on your running back, so that's why
oh yeah.
these receivers and tight ends and quarterbacks matter so much. And I think a lot of the teams
Mhm.
on the outside looking in need to do a lot of evaluating and being like, okay, the Chiefs have these guys. Look at the top four. The Rams have so and so. The Bengals have so and so. We need to work on getting those type of talents at those positions, or you're never gonna sniff the championship. You're never gonna sniff the Super Bowl if you're not building the right kind of team. That's what I think like the biggest thing we learned so far in these playoffs. And another thing we can throw in there, kickers matter. The Bengals
Oh
drafted
yes.
McPherson in the 5th round. And I love how like the last couple of games they've tweeted in all caps, that's why we drafted kicker or whatever it is. Like they're owning it. That's what you could do because kickers will win you and lose you games. So
And
like
really,
invest in those positions.
all of these playoffs, I'm pretty sure, have been won by kickers. Like
Yeah,
literally every single game. I'm not even
almost.
kidding.
Yeah, and multiple times for the Bengals too. This guy's a rookie out here sending his team to the championship, sending his team to the Super Bowl in back-to-back weeks. It's like, come on. Instead, I'm going to use this other example because this all kind of ties back into the Colts, like the way how I put these on this notepad. The Colts have a kicker that it's a question mark if he's going to kick over 45, 50 yards. McPherson's sending his team to the Super Bowl on 45, 50-yard field goal kicks as a rookie.
Bengals won by a field goal 19-16. 49ers won by a field goal 13-10. Rams beat the Buccaneers by the field goal.
Yep.
And then the Chiefs tied it to go to overtime by a field goal
Yep.
to win. And then the Bengals beat the Chiefs by a field goal. And then the Rams beat the 49ers with a field goal.
So what does that mean? Get a good kicker. Have a reliable kicker.
Yep.
And I know it's a lot easier to say, than to go out there and kick a game-winning field goal in the playoffs. But like when you look at how these games end, it tells you like what you
I
need.
don't think any of them are missed to win the game either. So
That's actually a crazy stat once you just talked about all of them out loud. The Titans or the Bengals won, and the Niners won, and the Chiefs. Like these playoffs has been super exciting, and I love it.
yep.
Another thing we learned: Patrick Mahomes, he's a human, especially in the second half against the Bengals. Because the way this first half is looking, it's like, all right, Chiefs are going back to the playoff or the Super Bowl.
Dude,
Here we go.
That Bills game though, he was not human at all.
For real, both sides of the ball. There was not a human on that field except for the coin toss. So, but yeah, I think the Bengals did a good job of. I don't know much about defense, and I don't know how much I was watching in the second half of that game, but they did what they needed to do to stop Mahomes, to stop Tyreek Hill, and just like I said again, just made him look human. Can I give you a really bold take from what I learned?
I don't know if I like it.
You don't like it? So I have on our doc for everyone listening. My bold take is that Aaron Rodgers is going to the Niners. And the reason I said this is because I was saying this last offseason too, because he's a Northern California guy. He went to college there. He might have been born there too. I know he went to college there. Maybe born there. I don't. One of those two is right that I just said, but I think him to the Niners just makes so much sense. But when I say it out loud, I realize that earlier in the same episode that I said that they have their guy in Trey Lance, so they're not really going to get Rodgers. But that'd be my bold take. Say he's going to the 49ers.
I just want to say this for people to. Oh, you missed it. It says Rogers, but
Oh, sorry.
my I guess you could say bold take is not very bold. I don't even know what's gonna go on. Okay, I don't even know what's gonna fucking happen. He might end up being with the Packers still somehow. I have no clue what's gonna happen.
How crazy would that be?
Going back to the 49ers? Or
No, he's going to the Denver Broncos. Listen, what's going to happen is Peyton Manning and his group is buying the Broncos. It's like $4 billion something dollars is how much it's up for. Nathaniel Hackett, who was he was multiple assistants for the Packers forever with Aaron Rodgers. He just got named the head coach of the Denver Broncos. Remember, last offseason, the Broncos were a big candidate for Aaron Rodgers. If he's going anywhere, it's going to be the Broncos. He's going to follow Hackett, and Peyton Manning is going to own the team. It's going to be quarterback city in Denver, and he'll be in the AFC. But that's even more wild.
Yup.
And if he goes to the Broncos, he'll be in Patrick Mahomes' division and Justin Herbert's division. How crazy is that?
Look at the AFC QBs they have.
Yeah, this is another big thing we learned from this playoffs is that the AFC is stacked.
Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Jackson, Mahomes.
Wentz. Derek Carr.
Soon to be Trevor Lawrence one day.
Trevor Lawrence. Come on, man. They're probably forgetting so many of them, too.
We're probably forgetting about someone like freaking.
Especially, like I just said, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Broncos, Aaron Rodgers in the AFC. Who the fuck does the NFC have?
Maybe Russell Wilson in the AFC. Who knows?
Dude. But yeah, I think the AFC is the upper echelon of quarterbacks right now across the whole league. I think the AFC has a lot of the better teams in the NFL compared to the NFC.
And it was kind of the opposite at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but you take Tom Brady out of the NFC now, depending on where Russell Wilson goes, and Aaron Rodgers, who the hell do they have anymore in the NFC?
Yeah.
And if you don't have an elite quarterback...
Wait, seriously, what's another good quarterback other than them and Stafford?
Exactly. Justin Fields.
Dak
until it's playoffs.
Dak is not going to be back to the playoffs.
Let's see. Vikings, Kirk Cousins, Eagles, Washington Commanders, Cowboys, Saints, Panthers, Giants, Lions. Oh, they have Kyler Murray, MVP. That's about it. But yeah, who the hell does the NFC have? If I'm a quarterback, I kind of want to go to the NFC because you have an easier ride to the Super Bowl.